Welcome to the Duquesne University Coaches Show, presented by UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Duquesne Dukes, and Mike's Beer Bar. Meet me at Mike's. It's time for the Sherwin-Williams Painting the Picture to Victory segment. Sherwin-Williams is the official paint provider of Duquesne Athletics. After 9 straight games to open the season, the Dukes finally had a chance to rest and recover during the bye week. That break was well earned. Out of 129 FCS programs, Duquesne was one of only 16 teams in the nation to play 9 consecutive weeks to start the year. The Dukes head into the home stretch with a 3-1 conference mark, averaging a league-best 34 points per game while holding opponents to just 11.3 points per game in NEC play. Last time out at Wagner, Tyson Miguez once again made his presence felt, leading the defense with 9 tackles, including a career-best 2 tackles for loss and a sack. His performance earned him NEC Prime Performer honors for the 3rd time this season, as Duquesne's defense matched its season high with 11 tackles for loss. And veteran leadership continues to shine. A.J. Ackerman reached the 50-game milestone in a Duquesne uniform, posting a career-high 7 tackles. This roster is built on experience. 13 Dukes have appeared in 40 or more career games, including 7 who've played every one of them right here at Duquesne. That was the Sherwin-Williams Painting the Picture to Victory segment. Sherwin-Williams is the official paint provider of Duquesne Athletics.
Science doesn't happen in a silo. More and more, we need to have expertise from lots of different fields. And so that's one of the amazing things here at Hillman. Everyone here is committed to doing research that is going to ultimately help patients' lives. So bringing together lots of different smart minds that have a common mission is really the way that we're going to move forward.
For all your sports watching needs and great food, meet me at Mike's. Mike's Beer Bar was voted best sports bar in Pittsburgh. 300 local beers, 80 local taps, over 500 beers, and steak on a stone. Mike's Beer Bar, next to PNC Park, Federal Street, North Shore.
And welcome back to Duquesne University Football Coaches Show. Tim Benz with Jerry Schmitt, head coach of the Duquesne Dukes, is brought to us by Cordia, creating energy solutions. Jerry, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Tim.
So coming off the bye week, you've practically played a whole season to get to your bye. Now you got more football to play. We discussed this way back when the schedule first came out, the nuances and the intricacies of playing that long before getting to a bye, because the New Haven game filled up what was supposed to be your first bye week. Mm-hmm. And how about the rest factor? I mean, as far as the timing of it coming off a loss against Wagner, I imagine there was a lot to be used during the bye. But from a health standpoint, did it hit the right time as well for your guys?
Well, it was huge. You know, we had never been in that situation. I've been here 21 years and never had a situation where we've gone that long without a bye week, and especially on a 12-game season. First time for us in a 12-game season. So, you know, we ran that course 9 weeks in a row. This obviously is, well, we need it. Needed it to get healthy. We got some of our guys that are getting back that didn't play those last couple weeks. And we were expecting that this bye week would help that. But yeah, it was unique for us. We needed the rest, not only the physical rest, but sometimes the mental rest. You know, to take a break from that routine of each week. The minute you get off of it, you take Sunday and take a break, and then you're right at it again. Just needed a little mental rest last weekend.
16 out of 129 FCS schools like yourselves to go 9 weeks. So it's that few teams in the FCS have done this.
Yeah, I didn't know that, and thank you for that stat. I wasn't sure had anybody else done it that way. So that's a tough thing to do. Most schools get a break, 3, 4, 5 weeks in. So we used it to our advantage, both for preparation and for the rest part of it.
Were you at all heavy-legged or tired going into Wagner? Was that part of the issue?
I don't know. It's always hard to assess. Our performance number said we played physically like we did in the past couple games. Might have been, mentally, worn out a little bit. Like I said, there were a lot of factors that I was very aware of and tried to anticipate and get our guys to understand. That was the first, we had been home a number of games. I mean, Pitt was a close game. Ackerman wasn't that far of a trip. But the 2 away games we did play where we traveled, Akron and Mercyhurst, were both evening games.
Mm-hmm.
So you go to the hotel Friday and you have some time through the day on Saturday to get yourself physically, mentally ready. And that was a concern of mine. It was the first time we made the longest trip that we had. And then it's a quick turnaround when, you get done with your Friday night meetings, you're up at 8 a.m. for breakfast, and then you are ready to roll at 9 o'clock to get to the stadium and start the process for a 12 noon start. I thought that it was new for us. Now, we have a lot of veterans, and they've been through that. But it was the first time this year for this team to go through that. So was that part of it? I don't know. There's a whole lot of things we talked about. We played really well at Mercyhurst. Did we think that we could just walk in and do that? Potentially. That's on me. That's my fault for not getting us to play our best football. We thought we had a really good week of preparation, and maybe towards the end there, we just, didn't play our best football game.
I wanted to kind of follow up with the point about the travel, because now you basically do that same trip again because you go out to Long Island. So do you do anything different, or do you just hope that that experience is learned from and you replicate what you did?
We analyze it. We go over it. We talk to the players about it. We as coaches try to make it better. It's not comfortable. It's never comfortable. We had it all planned out, and we went to LIU 2 years ago and, did a good job, and will be similar travel. But in the end, it's what happens when that ball is kicked off. We've got to be ready. Dukes adjust. We figure it out. If we're on the road, if, whatever happens, whatever the locker room situation is like, we adjust to it. In the end, it was our technical, our execution, some of the things that we did because we had an opportunity to win the game. Everything that went on through that game, there's some bad breaks, there's some things that didn't go our way that we could have controlled, didn't control. But in the end, we had an opportunity to win the football game. And just through the whole 60 minutes of not executing, that's my fault for not get our staff, get everybody to execute at their highest level. We didn't come out on top.
Last thing on this, and then we'll get to the Long Island game specifically. But one issue that presented itself against Wagner were some special teams moments, whether it was the field goal getting moved back or the punt. Can we talk about the punt for a second? What goes into that play for Michael Baraducci to run there in that situation?
Yeah, that was a mistake that was made. It's a protection thing, and it's always available, and it was executed improperly, and it's on me to make sure that they fully understand how to execute that, and we just didn't execute it. The ball should have been kicked, and that, like I said, that's on me. Wind and things played into the factor of some of the things that were going through my mind to be able to get some field position. Michael had done it before and been successful at it. In the end, that play was a big play, the most impactful play, but there's other smaller plays that impacted them getting a first down, us not getting a couple extra yards here and there through the game. One play doesn't decide a football game.
The Long Island Sharks, I'm just curious from your standpoint, what they do offensively in the run game. Is there any similarities to what you saw against Wagner? Because normally you guys are quite good when it comes to run yardage differential, you versus your opponent. That was not the case against the Seahawks. How is LIU in that regard?
They've got a really good running game. I think a little bit of difference is their quarterbacks, and I say that because they've played three, can run the football, so you have that zone read option that you have to always contain the quarterback and assign a hat to him. Now, the Wagner quarterback ran the ball a little bit. We didn't know that kid was going to play, so that adjusts your game plan a little bit on the fly. We didn't find that out until, right at pregame. We don't know exactly which quarterback's going to play for LIU, so you have to prepare for all of them. They each have different skill sets. But they've got a really solid running game. The running back is very good, and he's physical like the Wagner kid. So we're going to have to do a better job of controlling our gaps and keeping him contained, but also be aware of the quarterback runs and the potential options for him to run.
A.J. Ackerman's going to be our guest here in a little bit. He's got 50 games at Duquesne under his belt, 49 starts. Can you talk about what your relationship with A.J. has been like during his extended tenure here with the Dukes?
Boy, what a great person. What a positive captain that we have had for a number of years here. I think this might be his third year as a captain. we didn't expect it, but some injuries allowed him to continue to play when he, didn't get full seasons because of a medical red shirt. He's such a positive guy. He's on the field. He's in the locker room. He's around. He's a great input to me as understanding the pulse of the football team. We all understand now he's the old man, but so happy to have him. I don't even want to think about it. We've got multiple games here left. I'm going to enjoy every minute with him, and just so happy for him. Want him to have great success finishing out his career here.
How much has it helped with that new linebacking core to have the stability up front? Because those two parts of your front seven seem to have worked hand in glove this year. The Wagner game aside, there's been a lot of success up front from your guys defensively.
Yeah, it's helped them immensely to have those guys in front of them, and not only physically the way they play, but to understand the defense. Sometimes that those defensive linemen always wait for those calls by the linebackers, where to align, where to slant, what things to do. AJ's a guy, he's almost like a linebacker. He literally stands up, looks around, and can call the play because of his scouting report and his film study and everything. Like, it's almost like he's a linebacker, and if he has to correct something, he will, because he's very intelligent football player, and that just adds to his performances.
Last thing as we look ahead to the Sharks game here to wrap up on the offensive side of the ball. We spent a lot of time talking about special teams and defense. Where would you like to see your offense improve from the previous week against Wagner?
It's going to be execution play after play. We did some really good things, but left some things out there that we could control. This is a really good defense. I think they're averaging giving up like 11 or 12 points or something like that. Really good, really stout, fundamentally sound. Not overly aggressive blitz-wise. They will send some. They're just going to make you work for everything that you possibly can get. And so we're going to have to be on top of it, execute, hustle all over the field, get hats on hats, and just stay mentally focused for 60 minutes.
All right. Well, hopefully no rain this time going out to Long Island. No flooding anywhere near New York. Just get in and out dry, and then move on from there, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Jerry Schmitt, head coach of the Duquesne Dukes. Our guest here brought to us by Cordia, creating energy solutions. A.J. Ackerman next. Just talked about him, defensive lineman for the Dukes. He's on the way on the Duquesne University Football Coaches Show, brought to us by UPMC and Mike's Beer Bar on the North Shore. Meet me at Mike's.
At Cordia, we approach energy from a different point of view, asking what's next instead of what now, perfecting solutions long before they are needed. Our team pushes boundaries, asks tough questions, and explores every possibility. We drive innovation so the energy you rely on today paves the way to a more sustainable tomorrow. Cordia, creating energy solutions.
I was diagnosed with a very rare form of cancer and told you should seek end-of-life care. I went to UPMC, and so the very first time, I didn't get that blank stare. He said, this is what we do, saving lives like mine.
Prepare to think bigger. Gain real-world experience. Build a solid foundation. Start your journey. Achieve your academic ambitions. Experience a horizon-expanding education. Make a positive impact. Discover what you're good at and why that's good for the world. Are you ready? It's time for bigger goals. Duquesne University.
And welcome back to Duquesne University Football Coaches Show. Tim Benz with you here on SportsNet Pittsburgh, along with A.J. Ackerman. A.J. is brought to us by Summit Academy and the Academy Schools, inspiring hope through education and treatment. A.J., good to see you again.
Good to see you.
50 games under your belt now at Duquesne. That's a long run, especially with the new rules, the way things are in college football. not entirely unplowed landscape, but certainly here at Duquesne, you've made your mark for your time, your tenure, and your extended work put into the program. What's it mean for you not only to have 50 games, but 49 starts as well?
I just look at like the time that I've been here and the amount of people I've met. Like most people, they only get to be a part of so many teams, but because of red shirts or injuries or COVID or all those things, like there were like 3 extra teams I got to be a part of and 3 extra groups of people that I got to meet and work out with and train with.
And as you look back at your time as it comes to an end here in your senior year, hopefully there's more accomplishments to be had at the end of your last season, but what sort of memories have you built up already with those various layers of teammates that you've had during your time here?
I don't know. It's wild. Like when I came in as a freshman, I can't tell those stories anymore because anybody here doesn't remember those people, like they weren't here with them. And then like going through COVID, being in the dorms with all these guys, knowing that we weren't going to play a season and just how fun those times were, you look back and you laugh at it. And then when I got skinny a couple of years ago, didn't work out. It was kind of a good thing that I got injured because definitely wasn't playing great at that time. So I don't know. It's just a bunch of memories.
How about your teammates that you have now, guys like Jack Dunkley and Kevin Kersinger that you played next to for a while? How well do you guys mesh together?
Phenomenally. I mean, if you were able to be on the field with us and like hear the way we talk to each other and communicate, like while plays are happening, it's kind of insane. Like we'll kind of check each other mid-play about what I was doing wrong, what you were doing wrong. If we're doing like, say, like an exit stunt or something like that, like we'll say things to each other as we're moving around and things like that. It's really cool.
So to that point then, when you have a game like you had on Staten Island against Wagner, where so much had gone right up until that point, and you guys are good about verbal communication, checking one another, why was it unable to get back on the rails against Wagner when you have been able to stay on the rails as much as you have this year and last year too, for that matter?
I want to say Wagner, there were a lot of breaks in communication, but it wasn't because of preparation. It wasn't because of play calls. It was more so a very emotional, something went wrong. And it's been a while since something went wrong. And you've seen some guys be like, okay, adversity. And we just didn't handle it great at that time. It kind of needed to happen.
Did you find that was the case, the inability to handle adversity? That was at all 3 levels of the defense? Or are you talking about your own specific position group?
Position group, and then behind us a little bit. And I'm not pointing fingers at anybody by any means. Just when I was on the field, we were just losing a little bit. Mm-hmm. It was hard to reel it back in. And by the second half, we did. But I don't know if it was too late or not. But it took too long for us to kind of get around each other and get back to what we were focused on.
As far as on the field, because a lot of that feels sort of intangible, the on-the-field stuff, what did you take from that over the bye week to apply to Long Island so it doesn't happen again?
That it's not about anything. It's not about anything that who we're playing does. It's only about us. Do our job, do it right, and don't worry about talking to anybody else.
We talked about this on the walk-in a little bit. You have there's a good time for the bye to come because especially with the schedule being what it is, I don't think you guys wanted to bus out and back to Long Island and Staten Island. What are those bus rides like when you have to go to Connecticut and Long Island?
They're really not that bad. I mean, people make it out to more than it is. It's just, it's a little long, but we structure it well enough that when we get there, we got enough time to kind of relax, chill out. This week we'll be there a day early, so time to kind of recoup and whatnot from the bus ride.
Yeah, the only one that leaps to mind, I guess, is the one that happened going out to Long Island with the weather, where you guys had to basically you did a tour of New York where you got spun around the whole time. That was out of your control, right?
That was the year I was injured, so I didn't have to do it.
You didn't do that one, all right.
But I will say I was laying in bed in a cast, and Kevin Kersinger sent me his location, and he was in the middle of Times Square or something on bus 3 because they made a wrong trip. And I checked his location, I think it was 2 or 3 hours later, and he was only 3 streets away from where they originally were when he sent it to me. So that looked miserable, but you got to ask Kevin about that because I wasn't there.
As far as you guys go on the field against Long Island, what sort of things have you learned about them, or do you remember from playing them in years past that they present as difficulties that could stress the defense?
For my position specific, their O-line has always been, I don't know if I want to, like, gritty's the right word, or they have a want to hit you. Like, you watch some teams and it's like, okay, they don't climb to the second level very well or whatnot, but I watch LIU and I'm like, they want to come hit you. It's going to be fun. It's going to be tough.
How about your linebackers and the way they've coalesced this season? They've made some big plays for you, and especially Avery Morris and Tyson Miguez. I'm sure it's good to get him back after that scary injury.
Yeah, no shade to anybody that I've played with in the past, but this group of linebackers is by far my favorite group to play in front of. I mean, the communication is precise. The trust I have in them. If I get in, say I'm in a 3-tech going B gap, I get in my B gap, I'll sit there and hold it, watch the running back go to A gap, because I know I got a backer there filling it. I have no worry in the world playing in front of them.
Doesn't matter who it is.
No, I'm good with all of them. I love playing in front of them.
Did you figure that out quickly that was going to be the case? Because there was a lot of personnel change over there.
First game, it was interesting getting around everybody, feeling out how it was. Second got better, and by the third game, I was like, okay, these guys, yeah, I trust them. Let's go.
Last thing, AJ, as we sort of wrap up here, I mentioned you got a couple weeks to go for the end of your career here at Duquesne. If you could kind of crystallize coming here and the decision to come here, how much does it feel like it's paid off for you?
Oh, I mean, amazing. Not many people leave college with 3 degrees to go out into the world with, and then get to play 7 seasons of college football. So, I mean, it's been nothing short of a dream. I've loved every minute of it.
So for as much college football as you play, do you want to stay in football in some way, shape, or form? Do you want to coach? Do you want to do something in the game? No, you're done?
I'm not a coach. I'm a player. I tell my wife, I'm like, when our kid plays flag football, I'll go coach Controlled Chaos for that year, and then that's all I got.
Herd cats for a little while.
Yeah, I'll laugh with other dads, but I'm just not a coach. I just love playing it. I couldn't imagine sitting on a sideline and trying to tell people what to do rather than me just doing it.
You find yourself on the field eventually.
Yeah, somehow, some way.
You get a flag for being the 12th guy out there. Yeah. All right, well, listen, AJ, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. And thanks for doing this, and thanks for being so cooperative with us over the years, not only here, but on the radio side. It's been great getting to know you.
You as well. Thank you.
All right, so we'll watch AJ and the rest of the Dukes throughout the course of this season, and we'll be back with much more here on the Coaches Show as we roll on. Again, AJ brought to us by Summit Academy and the Academy Schools.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar. Full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. 0 compromise.
As Western Pennsylvania's largest regional public accounting firm with local ownership and management, Schneider Downs gives you the global ideas your company needs right here at home. Schneider Downs. Big thinking, personal focus.
The reason we do this is to change the lives of patients for the better. Pancreatic cancer has a reputation for being a tough cancer to deal with. If you can add mileage to someone's life, the ability for patients to live longer, enjoy time with their family, witness a wedding of a daughter or a son, that's really what we're aiming for.
It's time to look behind the numbers, courtesy of the accounting and consulting firm Schneider Downs. Find out how big thinking with a personal focus can help your organization. Offensively, Ness Davis has been the engine of the ground game, leading the NEC in conference play with 90 rushing yards per game and ranking 4th overall this season with 598 yards. Through the air, Tyler Rydell continues to impress, now with 75 career touchdown passes, including 20 this season, leading the NEC and ranking among the top 10 in the FCS. His top target, Joey Isabella, has been nearly unstoppable, reaching 150 career receptions last time out, just 2 shy of 6th all-time at Duquesne, and has 10 receiving touchdowns this season, tied for the national FCS lead and 5 more than any other NEC receiver. He's found the end zone in 5 straight games and 7 of the last 8. Up front, the Dukes' pressure has been steady. Adrian Ramirez has a tackle for loss in 6 straight games. Jack Dunkley registered a sack in 3 straight, and Kevin Kersinger extended his streak to 4 in a row with a tackle for loss. As a unit, the defense has posted 7 or more tackles for loss in 4 consecutive games. Nico Pate's fumble recovery on a muff punt at Wagner pushed the takeaway streak to 6 straight. That was a look behind the numbers, courtesy of the accounting and consulting firm Schneider Downs. Find out how big thinking with a personal focus can help your organization. On Saturday, November the 8th, the Duquesne Dukes travel to Long Island to take on the LIU Sharks in NEC action. The game will be streamed on NEC Front Row and RYZ Sports Network with radio coverage on Fox Sports Pittsburgh. For more game day information, visit GoDuquesne.com. This Road Ahead segment is brought to you by Dean Honda. Dean Honda, visit them on Route 51 in Pleasant Hills or at DeanHonda.com.